Welcome to another walk with Kelsey. We're here again at the lakeside, and I'm sorry, if you can hear the birds, there's seagulls here that are kind of obnoxious, but all the other birds in New Zealand are just incredible. There's a bird here that reminds me of the Hunger Games. Oh my gosh, it's magical. But today I wanted to talk to you about loneliness and the difference between loneliness and solitude. And then I'll also talk to you a little bit about coping skills and coping mechanisms that you can use whenever you're having uncomfortable emotions like loneliness. And I think the biggest reason I'm bringing this up right now is it's Friday night. There is something, I have traveled and lived a lot of places, and I've done a lot of it by myself. And there is something about whenever you're at a new place on a Friday night. For some reason, I don't know why. I even work for myself. I have my own schedule, and I'm alone most of the time anyway because I'm working in my little studio apartment. But there's something about a Friday night where all of a sudden, I don't know if it's FOMO or you just realize maybe the people that you ordinarily would hang out with just aren't here, that you don't know that many people when you're in a brand new place. You don't have a routine yet. I don't know, but there's always that kind of almost like an ache for connectedness, especially on a Friday night. And it's kind of weird, being here in New Zealand, the time difference. So right now it's 9:30 p.m. I know, 9:30 p.m. and the sun hasn't set, and it's weird. The last time I did a live, it was cold and rainy, and now it's warm and breezy and beautiful. Welcome to Wanaka. But anyway, it's 9:30 p.m. here, which means it's about midnight, past midnight for most of my friends in Mountain Standard Time. And it's I can't even call people. Ordinarily at this time I would call my parents, or I would call friends, or I would call my brother, but at this time zone I can't. So I have a couple of options. The biggest thing I want you to recognize is that if you're having uncomfortable emotions like loneliness, I just really want to encourage you to separate yourself from it. So I would never say I am lonely. I would say I feel lonely, right? Because I'm not a lonely person. And most of the time, and today even, I had a lot of calls, I'm talking to people all the time. It's just I'm having this kind of feeling of loneliness right now, or kind of a feeling of wanting to be connected to somebody. So I'm separating myself, right? And some ways to separate yourself is to articulate it, name the emotion that you're feeling. Sometimes you can think about where you feel it in your body, in your stomach, in your throat, in your shoulders. Where are you feeling this? If you were to give it a color, what color would it be? If you were to give it a shape, what shape would it be? And just really kind of, again, separate yourself from it. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of your emotions. And the best part is your emotions are just an experience. It's literally just neurochemicals that have been signaled and triggered by your thoughts. So that's the other thing, is to recognize that it's not your circumstances that cause these emotions. It is your thoughts about your circumstances. So again, me alone on a Friday night, I could think, oh my gosh, thank goodness, some alone time, some quiet time, some time to get my thoughts and to gather and whatever else. Or I could think, oh my gosh, it's me alone on a Friday night. I don't have any friends, boo-hoo. It all depends on the way that I'm thinking about it. And so I am choosing, by the way, I don't know if you can, there's a whole bunch of kids on bikes. I am choosing to look at this time as solitude, because there's a huge difference, loneliness versus solitude. And I'm instead deciding to use this time as time to really connect with myself and to spend time with myself. And so this is what I decided to do, and some coping strategies for you. Number one, I decided to go for a walk. Two things if you want to change your state. This is from Tony Robbins, by the way, and I always test my clients on it. Two things if you want to change your state: change your physiology, move your body, and change your focus. So focus on your breath, focus on, change your thought, focus on your scenery, or things right here, I'm going to change my focus by being barefoot. And I'm walking, seriously, that's a coping mechanism, is being able, I hope the wind's not too much, but being able to play in the grass and be out in nature and put your feet, and I know for some of you it's winter and I'm sorry, but just saying, like, that can be a coping mechanism. It shifts your focus, right? That could even be like, if you want to shift your focus, go outside and put your feet in the snow. That'll change your attention. Or hold on to snow, or hold on to ice. Even holding on to ice, because it's a physiological, it'll change things, right? The other thing that I've decided to do for myself, obviously I changed my physiology. I came and I took a walk. And then I have my good old handy dandy. I've got my book, Power of Now. I'd love to know if you've read it. It's awesome. And then I have my journal with me. If you don't know, I'm a huge journaler. In fact, I'll leave you a link to my 3-2-1 journaling method. It is the number I've journaled every single day. It's a quick bullet point. It's a really great way to shift your focus, rewire your brain. My clients swear by it. I promise it has completely changed my life. So if you would like a link to my free journal prompts, I will leave that in the description. But yeah, so just take it as a time. Other things that you can do, obviously sometimes I throw myself into my work. What am I doing right now? But ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Separate yourself from the emotion. Recognize that this is just an experience, that everything is highs and lows. It's a heartbeat. I'm in the best place in the world, in my opinion. I'm in paradise. I'm so happy here. I've done everything I can to be here. And that doesn't mean that I'm always going to be happy. If I were always happy, that's a flat line. That is a dead man's goals. I know that life is 50-50, and 50% of the time I'm going to be really happy and excited, and 50% of the time I'm going to have some uncomfortable emotions. But as, who is it? There's a quote I absolutely love. Discomfort is the admission ticket to a meaningful life. And the more that you know that no matter what happens, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes, you might as well go for it. You might as well try. I had someone say that today on one of our calls, that the reason she wasn't going for her dream or trying to be healthy is she had this fear of being disappointed. This fear that she'll try for something and it won't work out and she'll be disappointed. So instead of trying, she just won't try at all. Because at least, like, I think we got to recognize sometimes we get comfortable in our own misery. We get comfortable in the uncomfortable emotions that we know because it feels familiar. And so I just want you to know, go for your goals. It will not promise you happiness all the time. It will not mean that you're going to feel loved and amazing all of the time. It will not mean that you're not going to feel lonely sometimes. But it's so much more worth it because there's so much growth and expansion. And there's, like, look at where I'm experiencing some feelings of solitude. I'm a happy camper, all is well. Anyway, hope that's helpful for you. I'll post those journal prompts for you. And I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing Friday, your time.